Natural gas is especially important to power generation. Today, power generation accounts for about 35% of the world's total energy usage and is expected to account for more than 40% of the increase in global energy needs between 2005 and 2030. In the Asia-Pacific region alone, one of the fastest growing regions, demand will grow by 150% between 2005 and 2030. After more of a decade of research and development, ExxonMobil achieved a breakthrough on tight gas commercialization with the invention of multi-zone stimulation technology. Using this approach, we can stimulate, or in most cases fracture, a number of tightly cemented geological formations in one continuous operation in the well. Doing so efficiently improves recovery from natural gas reservoirs that were once economically out of reach. In the Piceance Basin of Colorado, that multi-zone stimulation technology will allow my company to increase natural gas production by over 300%. This will allow our project there to provide enough energy to heat 50 million homes for more than a decade. Other technologies being applied in this project include water recycling and the drilling of more production wells from a single surface location, which reduces the footprint of the operation, a technique that we are also using at the Cold Lake operation up here. Significant advances in other technologies, in particular horizontal drilling and fracturing, have unlocked the potential of North America's shale resources. Here in Canada, we see opportunities to apply these advanced technologies to promising new areas such as the Horn River Basin in British Columbia. ExxonMobil Canada and Imperial Oil have acquired over 300,000 net acres in this shale gas play and have just embarked on our second winter season drilling program to further evaluate this. By making greater supplies of cleaner burning natural gas available to consumers, all of these technologies help reduce greenhouse gas emissions in a substantial and meaningful way. These are just a few of the technologies and promising developments in Canada. For decades, Imperial Oil and ExxonMobil Canada have proven that long-term planning, disciplined investment, and human ingenuity can open up new energy frontiers and strengthen job creation and economic development, while at the same time reducing environmental impact. But such planning, investment, and innovation are only possible with sound and stable public policies, which are grounded in fact-based analysis. These policies must also recognize the very long-term nature of the energy industry, where investment decisions are made on projects that will operate over time scales of decades and not the electoral cycle. We've all heard about potential political barriers to exporting crude from Canadian oil sands to the U.S. Many an article has been published about the environmental impact and greenhouse gases emissions associated with developing the oil sands. Few, if any, have referred to the objective technical studies conducted by bodies such as the Alberta Energy Research Institute, which recently found that the life cycle greenhouse gas emissions of an oil sands development incorporating cogeneration are similar to those of conventional oils imported to and refined in the U.S. Nor do they typically mention the lands that have been reclaimed and restored after mining activity has ceased, let alone include photographs of such sites in the articles. The Energy for Life program can play a vital role in fostering much-needed informed debate on these and other issues, and in providing objective data and analysis to the public and to policymakers. In the years ahead, energy policies will become even more important as nations become more developed, energy demand grows, and economic competition continues to increase. The energy industry and the global economy will need governments to do their part to encourage free trade, uphold the rule of law, and build sensible tax, legal, and regulatory frameworks that allow for long-term planning and investment to take place. I am convinced that if we learn from the successes of the energy industry, learn from examples right here in Canada, and learn the lessons being taught at the School of Public Policy, we can build energy policies that will allow us to work together to expand supplies, increase energy efficiency, and reduce environmental impact. By advancements in all of these areas in the decades ahead, we can succeed in our shared goals to increase progress and prosperity for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. We have time for about 10 minutes or so to deal with some questions, and you have some more. If you have a question written out, if you just wave your hand, apparently, someone will pick it up. But I already, fortunately, have several in my hand that people have handed me. And I wonder if you could address the following. It says, given recent media reports about the Mackenzie gas project, do you still think there is a need for this gas in the North America marketplace? And has this changed your view of the Mackenzie gas project?
It's a good question, and one that I gather, as having been up here for the past day or so, quite topical right now. As I said in my prepared remarks, when we look at the outlook for energy, we see a tremendous demand increase in the next 20, 30, and beyond years. Talked about it being 35% in terms of all energy use going forward, and in particular, natural gas growing faster than anything else. In fact, we expect the use of natural gas to grow at a compounded rate of about 1.8, just under 2% per year between now and 2030 at least, increasing natural gas use by 50% in that time frame. When you think about that need for natural gas, the role it plays in integrated solutions, particularly on the power side, that is to say, providing more energy, reducing environmental impacts, you look at the magnitude of the numbers, when you do the sums there, there's room for a huge amount of natural gas supply expansion on this continent and in the world between now and then. So I guess what I'd say is that when we look at that, we see an expanding gas framework that provides plenty of support for projects like the Mackenzie project. And we, along with the other proponents of the project, continue to work diligently with the communities, the regulators, and the governments to progress a sensible project. We hope that we will see some outcome to that in the not too distant future. There's room for a lot of gas in North America.